kept reading all the rest. Now the table's getting clear, and the truth is pretty near. Say play, say loud, let the old smoke blow out. One look, one sign, if it's real then cross the line. This is where we tell it like it is, tell it like it is, tell it like it is. This is where we tell it.
Hello everybody, welcome. I know there might be not a very big crowd today, but that's okay. The important thing is that I'm going to go live regardless. We have been seeing some interesting things since the debate between Candace Owens and one Andrew Wilson, and that is a part of it. It's maybe a fallout. I guess you can call it a fallout. I don't know if I'd call it a fallout. We see some trends, and the trend is people's scampering to defend on both sides. Okay. However, I did manage to catch a debate. I guess you could call it that, a debate between two individuals. One is I think he's more of a philosopher type guy, Warren, and then DDgotaPodcast is the other guy. Now I'm familiar with Warren, but I'm more familiar with DD for one specific reason. When DD first started talking about the whole Candace Owens thing, I went to his channel on YouTube, and I asked him specifically to allow me some time to talk to him about it, and to prove some claims that he was making. So I put that in the comment section. He replied, and he said, well, if you reply to me on Instagram, then we can have a fleshed out conversation. So I did exactly that. I commented on that post, and then I went to Instagram to inbox him. And once I inboxed him, though, something strange happened. Didi blocked me. Didi had enough of talking. Apparently, he did not want to flesh it out. He never did answer the question as to whether or not he had anything to back up his claims. But he did indeed block me on Instagram, and then subsequently on anytime I went to YouTube to comment, my comments would get deleted. So all I can think is that he did not want to have the conversation with me because I was inconsequential, or he didn't want the conversation with me because I am not the kind of person that he wants to talk to. So when I saw this debate taking off, I thought to myself, this ought to be good, because Warren is a pretty soft-spoken guy. He's not like me. He doesn't get riled up and upset and angry. He doesn't do that. That's not Warren. Warren is the kind of guy that just really keeps level. He doesn't pick a side straight off the top. He's very much a centrist, okay, when he comes to his approach. Didi, on the other hand, went straight to the bandwagon of, the TPUSA did the bad thing, and there must be a cover-up. He took fully the side for Candace. And yeah, look, he has that right to do so. The problem I see with it is that if you're going to do that, then perhaps be able to stand behind your claim when asked about it. But he didn't do that. In fact, he ignored it. And now with this particular debate having take place after the Candace and Andrew situation, there came, I guess you would call it a reckoning. Would it be a reckoning? I guess it would be a reckoning between him and the statements that Candace herself won't stand by. Therein lies the reason I came to cover this today. And so we're going to cover this in parts, and more so near the beginning, and then we'll skip forward because it was a 2-hour debate. I'm not here to cover the whole stinking debate. I'm just here to cover sections of this, okay? So we're going to deal with what their intro to each other was, and then we'll skip forward a couple half hours so to see where the debate is there, and then another half hour to see where the debate is, and kind of pick it apart, parse it. Okay, let's go.
interesting because that's typically what the quote unquote left does. They resort to ad hominem, but that's not Warren Smith. He was more than willing to have a conversation. And so here we are. I want to start off at the beginning of this live stream by stating that Jesus Christ is Lord. And I hope that you can grow a relationship with him in your lifetime.
I want you to understand something about the people that put that at the very front. Not saying he probably doesn't have one. I'm just curious every time that they have to put that at the very front. But then the things that you espouse and believe don't seem to, I don't know, reflect that. It's weird. It's kind of weird. Just a little weird. That's all I'm saying. So it's, you know what I mean? Okay.
And before I sort of get into it, I'm going to give Warren an opportunity to sort of introduce himself and let the audience know who he is if they don't know you already.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. I make videos on YouTube, try and think critically as best I can.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be a teacher. Yeah. Thanks. Let's do it.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Okay. So I want to just state that there's a very good chance in this conversation we will not even discuss the weird behaviors of all the people on the day that everything happened with Charlie.
See what I mean? Right from the rip, straight into the idea that the conspiracy has substance, that their behavior was weird. You get what I mean? Like, if you're going to come to a debate, I guess if you're coming to the debate with the idea that this is the position you hold for whatever reason, I guess I could see that. But if you're coming with a reasonable approach to see if whether or not the other side makes sense, then leave that for when the debate takes off. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Because I'm going to I don't want to give anybody an out. And by anybody, I don't mean Warren, even though he's the person I'm speaking to, the audience, anybody who's on Warren's side, holds his position, his worldview. I'm not going to give them an out by stating that, oh, just because somebody was behaving strangely, we don't know what that means. Okay, fine. I'm not even going to give you that, even though there's overwhelming things to look at from just that perspective.
Overwhelming things to look at from that perspective. That made no sense. You can't have overwhelming things to look at from that perspective. You either have facts or you don't have facts. You may have a lot to look at, but you can't have overwhelming things to look at. It's not that overwhelming because you apparently looked at it and you come to a conclusion. This is what I mean by people coming to this idea that they have this intellectual capacity and try to sound really intelligente, but they're not. You'll find out here pretty quickly that DD does not have the intellect to have a conversation of this magnitude. Warren, on the other hand, does, but he did not represent himself the best way he possibly could have. It's almost like he did not take this particular interaction seriously enough. Let me put it like that. It seemed a little bit like he was very too nonchalant about it. He typically doesn't have himself looking this disheveled to begin with. And he does not have his camera looking this horrible. So it's almost like he took DD as a passive agreement. you know, I don't care.
I'm going to just delve into the evidence, but I do want to just say something here at the very beginning. Can we establish, Warren, can we agree before we even get into this, that there are two separate things that are taking place?
Mm-hmm.
One of those things is that there are those of us, many of us, you and I are probably in the same category here, that are assessing and maybe even scrutinizing the evidence that's been presented, the case that is currently taking place. That's one thing that's taken.
The case isn't taking place. Again, it's not. This is preliminary. The case is yet to actually go to actual trial. Okay.
Place. And then the second thing are those of us that's willing to go the next step.
Conspiracy.
And start theorizing or coming up with our own theories as to what we believe may have happened that day. Can we agree that there's a distinction there?
Yes, of course. Let's also keep in mind that what I'm hoping to get to, what I'm interested in, is why you wanted to have this debate to begin with.
Thank you.
Because the response just to my analysis, just to my video, seems strange. I don't understand it. So this began with your tweet. So if we could, what do you think was unfair? Why did you want to have this debate?
Yes. Thank you for the question.
You know what I can't stand? And this might be petty. Okay. And it might be petty because I come from a whole different cloth cutting. Why you just can't comb your hair, bro? Like, okay, I understand that maybe white people can't see that your hair ain't combed, but Negro, come on, man. You out here looking like you stepped straight out of the African jungles or even out in the plains and step right on the camera. You wearing a suit, but it ain't really a suit, and you don't even got the time to comb your hair. Warren out here looking like he just stepped out of a hamper. Neither one of y'all looking like you're ready for a conversation. Like both of y'all stepped out of the laundry hamper and just say, camera time. Or you had a big fight. You ever seen chickens fight? You ever seen chickens fight? I've seen chickens fight. You ever see them when they get done, what they look like? When chickens fight each other, feathers are all over the place and it's a mess. That's what they both look like. But Didi, come on, man. Come on, bruh. Some measure of self-respect from both of y'all. Golly, that's crazy work.
Your analysis of, which I know was just a short video, it wasn't exhaustive at all. Can you and I agree your analysis was extremely one-sided and extremely misleading?
Okay, I would love to hear how that is. My goal with that video is to describe the dynamics I see through the lens solely of the prompt. So based on the prompt, what did I see? The good, the bad, from both. I gave, in your tweet, you claimed I did not say anything about any negatives towards Andrew, which is not true. I pointed out his failure to be able to list one of the charges. So what was unfair?
Yeah, please.
Okay, fair. I don't know why I don't remember that. Maybe you said that at the very because
Don't worry, it's par for your guys' side. Candace also said, I don't remember if I don't know why I can't remember. Because y'all don't listen. This is the problem with that particular, and look, there is a marked difference between the two sides. Okay. The neutral parties that can see both sides as a mess, listen. Candace sides, don't listen to nobody. TP side, don't listen to nobody. You don't listen, Didi. I've noticed this about you from a long time ago. You don't listen. Your skills in executing the two things on the side of your head is sorely lacking. You do not know how to actively listen. It's all passive with you. That might explain why you didn't want to have an actual discussion.
I clicked off your video with I think 30 seconds left. I literally watched just about all of it. So unless you mentioned it right before the video ended, I don't remember you speaking about that, but it was extremely unfair in my opinion, respectfully, because I mean, there's a lot of things. I took notes here. Let's talk about a few things with Mr. Andrew Wilson. Well, before we get into that, let me ask you, do you agree with the assessment? How convinced are you that Tyler Robinson took out Charlie?
I would agree with Andrew, 75 to 85. I think that's pretty a good approach. If you were to ask me, where would I put my money? If I had to put all my money in my bank account onto what I think happened, based on the evidence that I can see, based on the analysis and all the indicators, I would put my money. I think I have the most chance of a return by putting it on Tyler Robinson.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I would definitely disagree. Would you say that there's overwhelming evidence?
Yes, that's why you said 75%. See, I told you don't listen. I don't understand these conversations. Listen. And I think this is why I can't debate people. I think this is the biggest reason why debates and me don't work. I think it'll work with just about everybody else. I just cannot stand stupid. I can't stand ignorant, and I can't stand stupid. You just asked the same question twice to try and get a gotcha moment. He told you 75, just like with Andrew, 75 to 85%. That would think overwhelming, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? And again, this is the biggest problem. This is all everybody has right now is opinion. Everybody has opinion because the case hasn't gone to actual trial yet. Tangible evidences that you may not consider hearsay has yet to be shown. But you are free to believe that he couldn't do it by hearsay and speculation. We have, at least on the other side where, Warren is sitting, he's looking at statements given by Tyler. You're looking at DNA recovered evidence, and you just have speculation from what you think that means. It's not even based on what it is. But we must drop the 75 to 80%, because I'm on the side of the 75 to 80%, by the way, and not because I was anti the other option. There is nothing that the other side has offered me by way of actual tangible proof. Nothing. You've given me what you think, what you can extrapolate from what you feel and believe, but you haven't proven anything on your side as a contrary note. Not one time. So I'm confused. I'm thoroughly confused. Now, am I saying that it is 100%? No, that's why I said 75 to 80%. I'm with them. I'm with that on that 100% with that.
What do you mean by overwhelming? I think there's more evidence to indicate that than anything else.
There you go.
Okay. So you want?
I don't know what overwhelms you.
Don't listen. He preferred to talk than to listen. This is DD's biggest problem.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
No. What I asked you was, so you wouldn't describe it necessarily as overwhelming?
He asked you what's your definition of overwhelming, but anyway, you don't even hear. You're too interested in trying to get a gotcha. He asked you, what is your definition of overwhelming? He literally said that. Let's back it up so you can hear it yourself, because I don't want nobody saying I'm lying.
What I think happens based on the evidence that I can see, based on the analysis and all the indicators, I would put my money, I think I have the most chance of a return by putting it on Tyler Robinson.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I would definitely disagree. Would you say that there's overwhelming evidence?
What do you mean by overwhelming? I think there's more evidence to indicate that than anything else.
Okay. So you
won't answer the question. Didn't he not? Okay. Maybe I'm the dummy. Maybe I'm the stupid one. I'm the dumb one. I'm retarded. Call me dummy. But if I mean to ask you, what do you mean by overwhelming? Wouldn't it behoove you to expound so that I can understand what you're looking for by way of definitions? If I say, what would you consider overwhelming? And you don't answer me, but then you ask me the same stupid question of what's overwhelming, what do you expect me to answer? I already gave you my option of what overwhelming is, but you seem to be looking for a different meaning of overwhelming. So what do you mean by overwhelming?
I don't know what overwhelms you.
Still not answering the question.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
No. What I asked you was, so you wouldn't describe it necessarily as overwhelming?
I don't know what overwhelmed. That's subjective.
Fair.
I don't know what you mean by. Do you see a more what would you put your money on? Do you?
I don't believe that Charlie Kirk was taken out by Tyler Robinson all by his lonesome from the rooftop of the Lozy Center. But the reason why I wanted to establish that before I got into the
leaves it alone. And this is what I can't stand with these idiots. I can't stand this. It is the most frustrating, bewildering, stupid thing. You bring it up and then you say, well, I don't want to get into it. No. We're going to get into it. What's your version of overwhelming? You can ask me, but when I tell you what's your version of overwhelming, you leave it alone. Well, I want to get into something else. See, if I was Warren, I'd have said, no. We're not going into nothing else until you answer my question. What, by your own definition, is overwhelming? I just need to know what your damn definition is. Because and Andrew does a good job of this in his debates. He wants to get everything explained right from the rip. What do you mean by this, so that once we have what you're looking for and you have what I'm looking for, we're not going to talk past each other, because when I say something, this is my level of quantification. And I know that when you say something, this is your level of quantification, so I don't have to ask stupid questions like DD's doing. It's frustrating. Literally the most aggravating, pissing off type ridiculous thing. It's testing. It's testing. It's very testing.
Andrew think is because he states that there is overwhelming evidence that
Going back to it
Charlie
again.
Kirk was pow by Tyler Robinson, but then he says he's only 75 to 85% sure, which is not overwhelming evidence.
That is okay. Okay, you know what? And I'm done. I'm done with retarded. Let's do something here. Let's do the most obviously. Okay. Overwhelmed in the dictionary. What does it mean? Let's see here. Overcome by force or numbers. Let's go with overwhelming. Let's see what that means, since he won't give his definition. Okay. Let's go here. Overwhelming indifference. Great or extreme. Okay, so I believe that would quantify as to their reason. 75 to 85% would be great. Wouldn't you consider that great? I would consider, if I believe something 85%, that would be overwhelming. I don't know what else you want. What should it be? 95? 100%? 100% isn't overwhelming. That's for sure. I just don't understand these people, bro. I really don't. Strong sensation, to believe strongly. Those are overwhelming. And when he asked you to give your definition of it, you refused to do so 3 times now. 3 different times you've refused to give your quantification for overwhelms. So he can't quantify it to please you in any shape, form, or fashion, because obviously right now you think 85 isn't enough. So what would be?
Oh.
But again, overwhelming. What is overwhelming to you might not be overwhelming to me.
We can look up the definition of the word.
Fixated on that.
Okay.
But I think if we're going to go with someone being overly invested in a position without something to back it up, Candace Owens said there was a 0% chance Tyler Robinson is the one who pulled the trigger. Do you have a problem with that claim?
I don't like to delve into absolutes. So if I
maybe this breakdown was a mistake from our mentals today. And I didn't think this through. I didn't think it through. I really didn't. I'm sorry. I started to have wasted y'all. I didn't think this through. I was hoping to go into the weekend with some brain cells, but I don't know if I'll make it, man. You don't like delving in absolutes, but you're asking Warren to be absolute about his overwhelming. You retarded, DD. I'm going to say it, and brakes are off. DD Got a Podcast should not have a podcast, because DD is a definite dodo. DD means definite dodo, definite dummy. You stupid. You are remedial, retarded, stupid, retarded. Stupid. Brain dead, dense, clown. All the terms that could define the lowest rung of education, you fit, bro. Just to try and quantify your belief in Candace, she said 0. That's for her. Overwhelming has to be 0. So I'm assuming then, by that metric, overwhelming for us has to be 100%. But you don't like dabbling in absolutes. She's absolutely sure it wasn't him, but I don't like dabbling in absolutes. He didn't ask you if you are dabbling in absolutes. He asked you, what do you think of her quantification? Do you agree with her quantification?
I was in Candace's position, maybe I wouldn't have said the number 0. However, I will state, if I remember correctly, and you all fact check me on this, I believe it was, how convinced are you?
Always got to make sure you hedge your bets. Always got to hedge your bets. you know, let's do something here. Let's do one of the most important thing. I want to do this here. I want to find a debate. Let's fact check him real quick. I want to find that amount. I want to find it. Me find. I'm looking for it right now. Okay, here it is. I got it. I got it. I got it. Now let's play what they actually asked, and then we'll come back to Dummy's Got a Podcast, and then we'll see. Okay, let's go to this first, and then come back to Dummy's Got a Podcast.
So let's see how it goes.
Just out of curiosity, are you between 0 to 100? What is the likelihood that you think Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk and killed him?
Based on the evidence
See, not convinced.
right now, I don't know. I'd say 75, 85%.
Candace?
0%.
0%.
I'm at 0.
So
With what we've seen in terms of the evidence, I'm at 0%.
So
Okay, good. You heard it, right? You heard it? Okay. Now let's go back to Dummy's Got a Podcast and Warren and see what they said that he thought the question was and see if that is true. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Go back a little.
Pulled the trigger. Do you have a problem with that claim?
You see? Okay, listen.
On that.
Okay.
But I think if we're going to go with someone being overly invested in a position without something to back it up, Candace Owens said there was a 0% chance Tyler Robinson is the one who pulled the trigger. Do you have a problem with that claim?
I don't like to delve into absolutes. So if I was in Candace's position, maybe I wouldn't have said the number 0. However, I will state, if I remember correctly, and you all fact check me on this, I believe it was how convinced are you?
Nope, that was not the question. That proves my earlier point that DD don't listen. DD has a basic problem. And it's many people's problem. They listen to hear what they would like to hear. They don't listen to what's said. They don't listen to what's actually happening, which means they're not actually listening. They only listen to get reinforcement to their point. You see the problem here? This whole debate for the next 2 hours will be hinged on how they break the first few minutes down. And if you can't get that point down, then the rest of the debate they'll be talking either past each other or neither one will understand where the other one is.
I believe the question was how
Okay,
convinced
so
are
he's
you?
100% convinced.
And Warren concedes without checking, but he concedes to the point. And I'm glad he held his foot to the fire on this one.
Yeah. And I understand where Candace is coming with that. And we're going to.
Okay.
Oh, so you understand where Candace is coming from, but you can't understand where Warren is coming from because there isn't overwhelming evidence. Gotcha. Yeah. So, but you don't want to quantify what overwhelming is. I also understand why you wouldn't do that either. In a lot of ways, I'm glad he didn't. For real, I'm glad he did not. I am so glad he did not wish to debate me. The more I think about this, it might have been a saving grace for me. It might have been one of those situations where I should be grateful. And I think I am. I think I am very grateful that I didn't have to debate this guy. Because I promise you, I'd lose a lot of brain cells. I'd lose my mind. Because on no planet does this make any sense.
Could you
The
explain
evidence
that? Okay, I would love to get into that as soon as
Heck yeah,
possible.
heck yeah. Okay, so just real quick with Andrew, you asked earlier. Let's a few things. So you want to talk about the text messages. So he claimed that he has this text message from Charlie stating that the left was going to take him out the night before. Do you have any thoughts about that? Because if you mentioned that in your video, Again, I may have missed it because you may have mentioned it right at the end, right before the video.
Oh, the new text that Andrew presented at the beginning. I didn't. No, I was kind of focusing on what I think was the biggest. Yeah, the score. If I were to give it a score based upon the debate prompts, which completely that opening 0% chance changes the stakes. Like that is the prompt. It's an interesting piece of, I guess you could call it evidence. Yes, that text message. I don't think it drastically changes anything. It was my suspicion before. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I actually agree with you. I don't think it actually changes anything because that would almost indicate that Charlie received a threat from Tyler Robinson himself.
How stupid is that statement? How do you okay. And I need to find like a piece of a board or something, something heavy. I need something heavy to hit my head into. There's a wall here, but I can't get enough momentum. I need something that I can pick up and just smash into my head right now. I do. I need something to reset the brain. For real though, something to.
For him to just make that statement right before, but we don't have to get into the purpose of me mentioning.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, yeah, I'll elaborate,
please.
So even if it's true that Charlie Kirk texts someone the night before that he's afraid the left is going to take him out, it doesn't prove that Tyler Robinson did.
It's not supposed to, monkey. It's not supposed to prove that Tyler did it. It's supposed to prove that somebody on the left was going to do it. Guess where Tyler's allegiance lay? On the left. Oh my goodness. This can't be real, bro. No. I refuse to believe that this is the ilk that believe. Look, no. How did no. Hell no. I refuse, man. I refuse. Ain't no. Mm-mm. No. No way. When I tell you my head is hurting right now, I'm in pain. I am in literal agony.
Did it?
Sure.
Would you? So yes, that's all I mean.
Know. Right. No, it's not direct proof.
Okay. So, but the purpose of me mentioning the text message, because I don't remember you ever mentioning it in your video, is because, well, number one, Erica Kirk contradicted him months ago. Are you aware of this?
Right. Yes. There's many things that Erica Kirk has done. I think Candace has made many valid points about Erica Kirk, observations of strange behavior.
So let me answer the strange behavior by Erica Kirk for everybody. You ready for this? You ready? This is my answer to everybody questioning Erica Kirk's behavior. Let me let you in on some things. She don't got to tell y'all nothing. She don't got to show you nothing from her husband's phone. She don't got to tell you what her husband and her talked about. She don't got to tell y'all nothing. Nada. In fact, if she went cold, dead silent about the whole killing, y'all have no right to know about it. Now, we have no dog in this fight when it comes to us getting information. None. She's not owed that to give it to us. She's not obligated to give it to us. We're the public. You know who she's obligated to give that information to? The popo, the defense lawyer, the prosecution. She don't got to give that to us, especially some dingbat, Satan-worshiping black woman named Candace and a dude that don't know how to comb his hair and look like he pulled his suit out of a roach infested thing. She don't got to hold nothing to we. Nothing. She didn't have to say anything. In fact, she could do whatever she wants when it comes to celebrating and how anything she wants. It wasn't our husband that got killed. In fact, Erica could go to the grave site and show the body in the grave if she wanted to, because that's her husband. It's weird. Odd enough, that's her people. She could have, listen to this. She could have had him. She's dead. He dead, right? Okay. The very next day, she could have gone and like she did, right? And have him in the casket and not show her face. And just, she could have done all that because you know what? It's her husband. It's weird. It's a weird thing, right? That is her husband. She has priority over that, not us. In fact, she can actually, here's a weird thing. She can go and tell everybody, I'm not going to talk to you about this, and never talk to you about it. Kind of odd, huh? Yeah. I think what society and social media has done is make us believe that we are required to be told when somebody is doing something in their private life because he got shot in public. You know he got shot in public. That's as much as you need to know. The rest is under investigation. You see how that works? Erica don't got to tell you nothing. You can speculate all you want about her life, but to base your speculation about her life because she didn't tell you anything about what happened in the background, that just makes you nosy. Point blank.
So I have no problem if someone finds what she does strange or has questions about her qualifications. I think that is completely outside the actual debate prompt itself, whether or not Erica Kirk is qualified to lead Turning Point or things of that sort.
That's fair. And I could go through the other things, but you did make it clear that you were covering it from the lens of what the prompt was and how they
solely on logic,
themselves
not
accordingly. But yes. Fair enough. I just thought
I just want to make it about subjectivity. I know that you say you're not going to, but I'm going to try and make it as much as possible about subjectivity because that's the only way I can win my argument. That's how he sounds.
An ethical perspective, if I'm going to cover a video like that, but you're free to do what you want in your video, of course, but I would have definitely mentioned the fact that Andrew Wilson said at the very beginning of the debate that it's very ghoulish to profit off of the death of a good man.
Yes, that's the most factual statement anyone could ever make. Yeah, it is very ghoulish. 100% ghoulish. First of all, let me ask the most obvious question of everybody out there. This might be a trick question. Who was married to Charlie Kirk? Feel free, all 22 y'all, please answer the question. Who was married to Charlie Kirk? I'm going to give some options, okay? I'm going to give some A, B, and C options. A, was it Turning Point USA? B, Erica Kirk? Or C, Candace Owens? Who was married to Charlie Kirk? Anyone, just feel free to answer. Don't all jump in at once. Who was married to Charlie Kirk? TPUSA, Erica Kirk, or Candace Owens? Oh, Erica Kirk was. Okay. Who birthed his children? Was it TPUSA, Erica Kirk, or Candace Owens? Oh, that would be Erica Kirk. Okay, so we have started now a pretty good line of who's in charge of divulging what, right? Okay, cool. All right, good. I'm glad we have that established. Nice. Okay.
To only then later in the video state himself that he's not going to release the text messages because he has to dribble out that evidence on his own channel.
Because if you're retarded behind would understand, it was taking a jab at your queen. Your queen loves to dribble information out like a moron to you clowns. All you fools that stay like, when is she going to drop the next thing? Tune in next week All of you wait on bated breath for her to drop the next thing. She has all this evidence, but she just drips it to you lemmings. He was poking a jab at her. He even grinned at her when she asked, "Are you going to do it?" Well, I might, that's how you do it. He was poking fun at her. You retards. You're so stupid. You don't even get that you're being laughed at. That's how dumb you people are. You are so inept at thinking that you don't even see that people are laughing at you because you're so retarded. Your own queen drips and drips and drips and totes you along for 10 months. She's been telling you, I have all this, I have all this, I have all, but I'll tell you next week. Welcome to Candace. Oh, I'm going to drop it off, but I'll drop it next week. Y'all are so stupid. Like, look, and I'll keep going back to this example people gave me. This one person, a good friend of mine, and that thing is stuck in my head, and I keep seeing it everywhere now. Please remember when you were going to school, and there were two different buses, the regular bus and the short bus. And the short bus were the window lickers, crayon eaters, and actually some special needs kids. Not all of them were retarded. Some of them were just stupid. They were just dumber than everybody else, and they couldn't get it. So they got put on the short bus. Cool. And now, once you've graduated or left school, guess where the short bus people end up? With you in general population. Now there's no delineating mark. You can't tell who was on the short bus. Didi was on the short bus. Didi was on the short bus. But you will never know because there's no thing that he's riding on. See how it works? So now these idiots are among us and we will never know the short bus riders. Listen, Andrew was poking fun at your queen, and you still don't get it.
And do you understand the point? Can you guess what the point is that he's trying to make? Do you think he's trying to make a larger point there about you don't think he is?
No. This point. Let me think. 5? Purple? Israel? Netanyahu? You can't get it, huh? It over the top of your head. Good Lord. This guy can't be serious, man. No, for real, he can't be serious, bro. He can't. There's no way he can be serious. There's no way. I refuse to believe he is serious. I just don't get it. I want to find that portion to where he says it. Let me try and find that drip section here. If I can find that, man, I will be happy. I'm looking for it real quick. Let me see if I can look for it. I'll just search Andrew. Drip evidence. Let's see if it'll pop up here. I wish I could find the exact, I can't remember the exact spot where he said it, but I want to find it so badly because you have to see his face when he says it. It is one of the most priceless things on the face of the earth. While they're talking, I'll look for it.
Nope. But you can tell me though.
When he's talking about dripping out the evidence, kind of in a mocking way to kind of show the hypocrisy to Candace of when there's evidence and you ask me to present it as he asked her, she says, watch my show. Well, you should watch my show. I think that's what can you see how that might instigate that response?
Definitely see where you're going. Here's the problem though. If that's the point that Andrew Wilson is trying to make, he's supposed to make the statement as a joke and then provide the evidence and crush Candace right there on her show.
Should Candace be held to that same standard?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, I agree then. Fair enough.
Yep. I definitely agree with you.
Okay.
And I've, for the record, because I'm assuming you've probably never heard of me until today, I've been critical of Candace, like the way she's stripped out evidence, if you will.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Because that's the exact reason why I called you out on your own podcast. You have not been critical of her dripping evidence. You have not been. Stop lying. Stop the cap. It is everywhere on your podcast that you're not critical of her. Stop lying, bro. Do you not understand the internet, how it works? Do you know that the things you leave online, people like now, they can go and look at it? Did you know that? Maybe I can help you out. The internet is there, and unless you take it down, and even then, people still have it. It is there for people to see. Yeah. And you don't do that. You're lying. You're lying. Because that is the major. If you didn't understand that what Andrew was doing was jabbing at her, that's proof that you did not do that. Because you would have caught it. Because Andrew has a problem with it, and you would have caught that. You're not, bro, look. You like to pretend that you're this absolute brainchild. But you're not. And stop trying to be.
Over the months, instead of just releasing more at once, but people have given me pushback and saying, well, she's being strategic. I'm still not a fan of it. So I definitely understand anybody who comes from that perspective, for the record. Let me see before we move on. Oh, yes, this is very important. Andrew Wilson stated that it's amazing to him how cooperative TPUSA is if you approach them in good faith. Do you see anything wrong with this statement?
Do I see anything wrong?
Yeah, just on this for face value. Like, is there anything weird that you find?
Just go ahead and tell me, and then we can discuss.
Sure. I find it weird, just first and foremost, because if there was evidence, you don't need to approach an organization like TPUSA. You shouldn't have to, in good faith. If you
What? So let me get this up. I want to get this up completely right. I, as an organization, must reply to a retard like Candace, who does not have any sway in the case. She's not part of the investigatory group. She's not part of the police department. She's not a part of anything. She has no sway over the case. I, the actual victim, must comply with that bleeming buffoon in her request after she accuses me of doing something. I must just be fine with handing over stuff to her because it must not be in good faith. Because my leader got killed, I must then kowtow to this black retard on camera, right? The one that is always barefoot and pregnant, supposedly, with a faggot husband. I must just be happy to just hand her stuff because she gets views. I must just hand her stuff. The same woman that y'all don't call out for having all these rapists and pedophiles around her at every turn, I must just hand her stuff because she asked for it. Right? That makes sense to you. I must just be nice because she's saying I was responsible for killing the leader of my organization. And as the organization, I must just hand you stuff. That makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world. I don't think we need to have it in good faith. We can just say what we want about them, and they must hand us what we want. You guys are the most disingenuous, disgusting, vile, vitriolic people I have ever seen on this planet. You're just sick and stupid at the same time, which makes you absolutely like hills have eyes kinds of people. She spent months equating TPUSA to being bribed by Israel and Egypt to be killing Charlie Kirk and covering it up, and his wife is involved, and they must just turn around and hand you information because you asked for it. You have all that forehead and no brain in it. You got that big old vacuous space up there with nothing but a pea-sized brain in it, you retard. Flippin' idiot. Why would I cooperate with people who are trying to demoralize me in the public eye? What onus is on me to share anything with people like that? You already proved to me that you will flip whatever you get into some conspiracy. Anything. You already proved that anything you find, you share, and you share with a twist. Then why would I put my information and give it to you for you to go do it to somebody? Why? There is no good faith in doing that. You're not trustworthy enough for me to give you information. None of you are. And they shouldn't give you any information. I wouldn't give you information. I wouldn't even piss on you if you were on fire. Unless, of course, I drank gasoline and I would be pissing gasoline. I'd definitely piss on you then. To have you completely charred, I would do that. But share information with you? Are you stupid? Oh, sorry. Yes, you are stupid. Look.
You have
I got you.
evidence to support your
agree, man.
claim. You should.
We can
go ahead.
save time. I agree that Turning Point has handled this extremely poorly. Looking
No,
back,
they haven't.
I'm just thinking it's difficult to imagine handling it worse.
How could it? I need to know this, bro. I need to know how they could have handled this better. You do realize the metric by they considering better is by giving all the information to the public. So in other words, if I am going through this ever and somebody in my hemisphere gets killed, and then some brain dead dingbat starts to fly conspiracy theories around about me and those that are still alive, in an order to quench those conspiracies, I must then give every bit of information to the public while a case is pending. I must explain everything that's happening in the background to the public while the case is pending. That's the logic you guys possess. Meanwhile, the people that I'm handing this information off to will then take it, skew it, put it under a whole different umbrella, and make me look even twice as bad, even though that's not the information I gave them.
Okay.
Yeah, if I were to give them advice, go debate Candace. They've invited you to debate. Go debate her. Like, why aren't you?
I wouldn't debate her, because there's a reason why I wouldn't debate her, because she doesn't debate in good faith. As Andrew so succinctly pointed out, she does not debate in good faith, because she doesn't debate. She baits, but she doesn't debate.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
you guys should have done something with this tweet. You could have shared that a long time ago.
No, they shouldn't have, and they couldn't have, and they wouldn't have, and I wouldn't have had them do it. I honestly don't care if the tweet existed or the message existed or not. I don't care, because it's not for them to know. It is not public requirement. I swear, I hope I don't die in the manner that Charlie did, and somebody just decide they need to share all of my text messages with people. That would be, if I promise you, it would not be my wish. I promise you. Because you know who I talk to? Friends. And you know who I don't want known who I talk to my friends with? Y'all. They're my friends. If I wanted to do that, I'd share it myself. You see how that works? If I wanted everybody to know, you know what I'd do? Let everybody know while alive. Every time I come online, I would say, hey, hold on. Let me put my screen on screen share so y'all can see all of my discussions with my people around me. Here, just take a look at it and y'all can make your own assessments. That's what I would do, but I didn't do that. So why would you need to see them after I'm dead? Why would the history of my wife? Why would that matter? Is it your job to solve the damn murder? Or is it the police's job to solve the murder? Is it the public's job to solve a murder? What have we seen when public gets involved in murder cases? Look at this case right now with that dingbat, evil, vile, sick, murderous woman. When the public gets involved, what happens then? What happens then? Oh, she didn't do it. It was her husband. This woman strangled her kids. You hearing all these dumb, retarded people making excuses for her. That's what happens when the public gets involved. What happened with the Carmelo case? All the retards in the world got involved in that. The public doesn't help solve a case. I'm glad I'm on really a retard donkey. You freaking monkey, leave. If you can't reasonably work through this like a normal person, you're retarded. Just leave. You're dumb. The public doesn't solve a case. They don't have any information. All they're going to do is read into it. They're going to add and embellish and lie like Candace has been doing. The public doesn't solve anything. Freaking retarded people in this world. No, you can't make me see nothing because you freaking blind. Name one case the public has solved. I'll wait. Name me a case the public has solved from information within the case. Show me. I'll wait. Name me a case. In fact, name me multiple cases that has a track record of the public solving anything. Because they can speculate. The public couldn't even find Jimmy Hoffa, but you tell me they're going to find Charlie's killer because they can speculate about Israel. Y'all are so stupid. You short bus remedial retards are the worst on this planet, bro. You're a plague. You're vermin. You're like the worst of the worst, the bottom-dwelling, scum-sucking pieces of earth. You're worse than everything else that could be. All the plagues in the world can't defeat the stupid that's around today. The bubonic plague was nothing compared to the retards of today. You're the worst plague on the planet. Because you feel, because how you think will solve the case when you have no say over it. You're not going to be in the court. You're not part of the investigating team. You're not part of fact finding. None of that. You're not even the judge, but you can solve something because we can speculate. So yes, definitely make all the information public because y'all are so dumb. Your opinion does not make fact. Your opinion does not help in a case. How you feel is inconsequential. I can't understand it for you. Sounds just like a stupid retard. That's something that Candace would say. I can hear it for you, but I can't understand it for you. You parrot everything that black dummy says. Everything that idiot says, you repeat. And you don't even realize you're being bamboozled by this witch. She hasn't dropped a single fact. Not a single fact. Not one time has she dropped a fact. Okay, I'm still waiting on the plane logs from Egypt. Y'all got that yet? Remember she said she's had it? Have you gotten that yet? Has she shown you any proof that Israel had a hand in killing Charlie? No. She's shown speculation. And somehow that's supposed to be entered into courts. Because she said so. but you spend time debating it. Debating is definitely a debate. What you debating? The debate ain't gonna help nothing. I've never seen a group of people so self-absorbed that you think that somehow what you feel is of such consequence that it would sway juries. Because 5 million people watch this video. No, trust me, you got to go watch that Candace video. It'll tell you everything. I watched this retard talk about the Macrons, right? And every time she talked about the facts that she found was from somebody else that heard from somebody else when they heard something. Not a single tangible proof, nothing. All speculation, but we're supposed to take that and believe it. And the proof is in all the people that defend it. You ask them for proof. This is how they say they have proof. Well, you got to understand that that's pretty scary to think that that could. No, I ask you for proof. Listen, when they said this, it could only mean that. No, I ask you for proof. Well, Charlie was talking out about Israel. Okay, cool. But does that mean they killed him? Well, it could let. Candace talks about Israel. She ain't dead. She's making far more views than Charlie ever did. And I mean exponentially more views. I'll show you proof right now. I'll show you right now how much proof I have about that. Let's go to Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel, shall we? Let's go to Charlie Kirk. He has 5.86 million subscribers, right? So let's go to about the time that Charlie was alive still and see what his videos were doing. Shall we? Let's go to videos and let's go to the most popular. An 11 million video a year ago, and that's only because he died. Since then, 11, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4. After a year, 4 million after a year. Candace's videos get 4 million views after 2 days. If they were to kill anybody, it'd be Candace. If Israel should have anybody eradicated for hating on them, it should be Candace. Not Charlie. Charlie had zero, and I mean zero influence over the sphere compared to Candace. Want proof? Let's go to Candace's. Let's go to Candace Owens. Let's go there. Let's look at her videos and look at her lives. Let's look at videos. The most popular, 6 million, and these are a year ago, right? Look at the live. Most popular. 9 million after 11 months. 7 million, 11 months, 6. 5 million. Look at this, 5 million, 5 million. And that was a year for Charlie. It took her 7 months to make that. So who has the most reach? Charlie? No. 6 months ago, 4 million views. It took Charlie a year for his videos to make 4 million. In half the time, she has more reach. But Charlie is the most detrimental thing to Israel. How stupid are you people? The fact that Charlie actually allowed all this stuff to be talked about. Candace asked for a letter. The letter about Netanyahu, right? She begged for it. Tell us the whole letter. The whole letter dropped. She never spoke about it again. I wonder why. But it was so speculative. Remember, she said, you're hiding stuff in the letter. I bet you he didn't say what you said he said. Remember her saying that? Okay. Letter drops 2 weeks later. The whole letter drops. And he's begging Benjamin to find a way to protect themselves, defend themselves, so he doesn't have to do so much work. She went quiet. Ain't nobody talked about that. She asked to find out where Erica was. Erica told her that's not enough. She said that Erica should tell her to be quiet. Erica tells her to be quiet. She says no. She's a liar. But I must trust what she has to say? Man, shut up. She out here calling herself Legion and all kinds of stuff, and I must listen to that. No, you crazy. You are mental. You are mental. You want so bad for Israel to be the reason Charlie is dead that you will lead and believe everything that little stupid woman says. That closeted lesbian, you're going to listen to everything she says. She's got you all by the balls, just leading you around wherever she wants. Scandalizes everything, tells you about something that doesn't exist, and you just run with it like it's real. Because she told you to believe it. And you believe it. She tells you, I want discovery. Sue me. I don't care how you do it. I want all the smoke. Lawsuits come. I need this dismissed. Forget discovery. Dismiss it. I thought you wanted the smoke. All the smoke. Sue me. Sue me. Sue me all. Everybody sue me. As soon as everybody starts suing her, why are you suing me? You got something to hide. So why? No, that's why they're suing you, so you can show everything. I don't want to sue. Dismiss it. Blustering, blabbering, pointless, valueless, worthless person. That's all she is. She's just a black person that didn't make it in the nigger world, and she wants to try and make it in the white world. And she found a happy medium where she can get dumb niggas to believe her, and she can get dumb crackers to believe her too. She had the best of both worlds in the retard department. All the stupid niggas love her, and all the dumb white people love her too. It works out perfectly for her. It just so happens that more of the world is retarded today, and that's why her viewership has gone up. Intellect is a scarce commodity, which is why you see some of the better podcasts don't get as much views, because they speak too much intelligence. The retards of the world are abundant. They're everywhere. Stupid niggas everywhere, stupid crackers everywhere. Everywhere you look, you find them. They're a dime a dozen. You could say anything, and they'll follow you. Anything stupid, they'll follow you. Include them in thinking, that's too much for me. Why do you think that the critical thinking level in schools is so low? They're crafting these retards by the dozens in schools. And when a kid does get smart, square, idiot, you don't know how to party. Why do you think they call them wine mommies? Because they sit at home, neglect their children, and drink. Then they go listen to Candace. And they get tired on the computer saying, Israel, you get this stuff, and I'll send it to Candace tip line. They're the same kind of women that will go kill their kids in 10 minutes. It just listen to kids are getting on my nerves. I can't listen to Candace like I want to. If these kids don't stop playing, I'm gonna make sure that they drown them, because they're keeping me from listening to Candace Owens. Candace on right. Shut up! Listen to my Candace. It's better to listen to her than anybody that's so smart. God's behind you, Candace. You go for it, girl. Go for it. Go, Max. Go, Max. And not you, Max. I'm talking about Candace. Shh, down, Max. I'm talking about Candace. Go, Max, girl. That's how they sound. All of them. Anytime you hear them talk, that's how retarded they sound. This is crazy. But you tell people, wait until the case takes off so you can see all the information. No, we got to speculate now because they probably don't have it. Look. Charlie dead. Charlie got popped. Charlie got popped because he said stuff that people didn't like. Charlie knew the risks of his job, hence why he got security. If Charlie really had a heart for where he wanted to go, Charlie was already planning that this was going to happen. That wasn't a foreign thing to him. Anybody in the public light that says something that goes viral is it should anticipate some kind of violence coming their way, especially if it's something that's controversial. I anticipate it. I expect threats. It's part and parcel of the job you do when you jump into the public light, which is why when Candace said, I can't believe they want to kill you. Of course they want to kill you, dummy. You're a loudmouth. You say stupid stuff, and people don't like people saying stupid stuff. So of course they want you dead. That's not abnormal. But we are yet to see you expire after a whole year, and you're saying money's already paid. It must mean you're lying. You can't show a bank trail. You can't mention who tell you. You can't say when the information hit you, and then you say you never reported it through the proper means. But you want proper means to do something. It was all fanfare. She was never threatened. She doesn't have a death threat in her life. Nobody gives a damn about what Candace says because nobody believes it except for the retards of the world. And the retards of the world can continue to believe it because they're delusional. They'll keep giving her that idiot money, and they'll keep being broke. And she'll keep going on vacations every 3 weeks thanks to you idiots spending her money. Go Max. Now she's all about, well, we had needed to ask these questions. These questions need to be asked with the questions asked, question. I never said that, and I never said that she was guilty, but she's a black widow. I never said anything. She's a black widow. Careful, that's a black widow. Let's look what a black widow is, huh? Shall we? Since she said she did not at all say that Erica was a killer of her husband. She never said that. What's the black widow? You ready? A woman who kills her husband or lover, especially one who kills multiple husbands or lovers. That's the meaning of a black widow. But she never accused Erica of killing her husband at all. No. Just used the term. That's different. Or how about this one? How about regicide? What is regicide? The killing of a king, one who kills a king, one who murders a king, especially one who judges the. So you said that Turning Point USA did something akin to a regicide. You said multiple times that they installed a leader over TPUSA, kind of like how they did LBJ, and how a regicide was the reason that JFK got taken out. But you never accused TPUSA of killing Charlie Kirk. You see how retarded, because y'all don't know words? I mean, Candace doesn't know words either, but y'all especially don't know words, and she can bank on y'all being dumber than her when she says stuff. She'll blatantly accuse people of killing folks, but she didn't say it. No, I never said that. Well, I never said they were complicit. They were complicit. I never said they were complicit. Where's Charlie buried? Where's her burial? I never questioned where Charlie was buried. Those aren't lies, though, huh? She's honest. She's about the truth. I grew up thinking in my lifetime that people would be a little bit ahead of the curve. There'd be smarter people around. We'd be light years ahead with creativity and growth. And I thought that. I really was deluded. I really was. I did not expect society to be at this level of moronic behavior. I didn't expect it. I really didn't. But here we are. We're in it. We're here now. Look, even if they solve the case and Tyler is guilty after all the information comes out, they will not drop it. In fact, it will double. Andrew seems to think that the pendulum will swing. I don't think it'll swing at all. I think here's Andrew's biggest problem. Andrew Wilson, this is Andrew's biggest problem. And this is the same problem he had going into the debate. He thought that showing Candace to be a dummy would sway people away from her. He has yet to realize that, yes, Candace is a dummy, but the people following her are twice as stupid. And they will always look at him as the bad guy for bullying a woman. That's why you should never debate Candace Owens, which is why she always negated the option to debate us. When I offered to debate her, she never came to the front. Corey offered to debate her, she never came to the front. Why? She's afraid to do that. You can't function around logic, and especially you can't operate around pit bulls. Corey and I are pit bulls, okay? And this is the one thing I know about, whether you agree or disagree, we're pit bulls. If we need an answer, we are not letting go of your neck until you answer the damn question. If we got a hold of your calf, we're going to rip that calf off of you, or you're going to answer the question. It's lock jaw. See, what other people just kind of let you slide, we're going to keep coming back. You going to answer the question? Yes, but that wasn't the question, though. Here's the question again. You need a question again? Answer the question. Well, I don't know why you keep, because I want an answer. You got an answer? Give me an answer. And they'll keep saying, why are you being like, because I want an answer to the question I'm asking you. They can't stand up to that level of scrutiny because they like to sidestep, and we don't do that. I especially don't do that. I don't. No. Answer the question. And I would have pushed, what's a black widow? And when she would say, I never said, what is a black widow? I didn't ask you if you said it or not. What's a black widow? What's regicide? Is TPUSA guilty of regicide? Is Erica Kirk a black widow? I would have stayed right there and I wouldn't have gone nowhere else. Nowhere. Stay just right there. And if you have no proof that she did it, why are you pushing that narrative? Anyway, I'm going to go rest my head because I can't even finish the debate. I can't do it. If I have to deal with Didi talking again, I'm at my limit with it right now. I'm burnt out from hearing him. I am. I can only handle so much stupid in one. I can't handle. That's too much. That's too much. And I can't put you all through that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't call yourself. I couldn't call you all my friends if I did that to you. I'd unsubscribe if I did that. If I did that to you, I'd unsubscribe. For real, I would. I'm done. But we'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll be talking about a little bit different thing. Because I've been seeing this, and this is absolutely disheartening to see. We'll be talking about this woman. Lindsay Clancy. We'll be talking about her. Because it needs to be said that feminism has officially become Cyberdyne. You know what I mean by Cyberdyne? You know, Terminator? Yeah, that's what feminism has become. It's wild. Just wild. So we'll talk about her tomorrow. Because the protests are insane. They're hearing the testimony and they just don't care. Again, short bus meets feminism, toxic blend. Toxic blend. Either way, We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 4 o'clock Eastern. Let me not say my time frame. 4 o'clock Eastern. Okay, right back here tomorrow, Saturday. Wisdom calls to you from the streets. It's from the streets. So please, 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 please find yourself something to do. Almost went into my straight talk exit. That's how brain rotted I am right now. I'm so dang burnt from this stuff. So burnt. I want to find wisdom, but I can't use the same cliche markers that I did before. Whew, I need to rest. I need to rest. Never be afraid to tell it like it is. I think that's what it's going to be. Never be afraid to tell it like it is. Golly, good gracious. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
I kept reading all the rest. Now the table's getting clear, and the truth is pretty near. Say play, say loud, let the old smoke blow out. One look, one sign. If it's real, then cross the line.